Hello everyone, welcome all. Myself Radha, Assistant Professor, Department of ISC, SAVI Vidya Institute of Technology, Bangalore. In this video, I'm going to explain Mobile Application Development Lab 18 CSMP 68 Program 7, which is there for 6th semester for both ISC as well as for CSE. So the details about the Program 7 is the user will enter the text that has to be converted to speech. So for that, you have to develop a simple application with one edit text so that the user can write some text in it, and you have to create a button, convert text to speech, which will be, that will convert the user input text to voice. So whatever the text you are writing there, entering there, that will be converted to speech. So for that, you have to follow the steps for the design part. So first of all, you have to create an application. So go to File, select New Project, select Empty Activity. There you have to give the text name, application name as text to speech. Then click Finish. Application will get created. Then two files will be generated. One is XML and Java. Go to the XML code. There, go to the code in the design part. Change the layout to relative layout. Basically, there are two different types of layout. One is constraint layout and one more is relative layout. Constraint layout means you have to set the design with respect to cursor, you have to set for 4 sides. A relative layout, if you are using, you are going to set the layout to 2 sides. Once the layout is been fixed, now you have to move to the design. There you have to add the component text view and you have to set the parameters. So the name you're going to give it as text to speech application. And the text size, you're going to give it as 38 dp or sp. And alignment, you're going to do it as center. Next, you're going to add the component plain text and you have to set the following attributes. Text attribute, the value you have to make it as empty. Hint attribute, you have to type enter text here. And text size, your convenient size you can give and you can set the attribute. ID, either you can refactor the ID or else you can make use of the existing ID with respect to the particular component. Next component you're going to add is the button and you have to set the following attributes. Text name, you have to give it as convert, and on click is a attribute where you have to give the name as convert. So because the user will be entering their own function, that is independent method will be created with the name convert, that name and this name should match. These are the steps you have to follow for the design. Once you are done, this is how the design will look like. So we'll see in detail in the Android application how exactly the design will work. So Android Studio application is getting started. So once it is getting started, we'll do the design as well as we'll perform the Java operation. So the application is getting opened. It is loading. The first step is you have to go to file. You have to select the file till it is loading. So the first step is you have to go to file and you have to select new project. You have to select the empty activity. And here I'm giving the name as text to speech app. And you have to select the language as Java and give finish. So once it is done, two files here you all can see it is being generated. One is XML file and one more is main activity.java. Go to the activity main.xml and go to the code. There you have to set the layout. This is the second step. Here I'm setting to relative layout. The IntelliSense will arrive, automatically select the relative layout. Once you set the relative layout, now move to the design. In the design part, automatically hello world will be there. I'm just removing it, I'm deleting it, I'm adding the component text view. Just fix the relative position and change the attributes. Here I'm changing the text as text to speech app. This is the name which I'm going to give. And I'm increasing the text appearance, I'm making it as large, and I'm increasing the size. So text size, I'm giving 34 SP. So then fix the relative position. Once you fix the relative position, next I'm adding the component plain text. Next I'm adding the component plain text. So once you add the plain text component, fix the relative position, then set the attributes, whichever the convenient attributes you want to set. Here I'm setting the attribute, select this component, make text as empty. You should make the text value as empty, and you have to select hint attribute. In the hint attribute, I'm giving the value, enter text here. Enter text here, and you can give your convenient size. So here I'm giving the size as 34. Once it is been done, next I'm adding the button component. Fix the relative size. Fix the relative size. Then change the text name. I'm making the size as 24 and I'm giving the text as convert. So this is all about design. Once the design is being done, now you have to move to the Java part. In the Java part, so here we are using the services which are already available. Here I'm making use of the package. Here I'm making use of the package text to speech. Text to speech is the service or the package or the class. For that, I'm creating one variable called one reference I'm creating called T1. And here I'm using edit text because I need to use the edit text where the user will enter. That is the one which has to be recognized, and that is the one which has to be converted from text to speech. So that is why I'm using edit text. I'm giving the variable as E1. Once the variable declaration is being done, next, now I need to identify the identifier. So for that, E1, find view by ID. R is the class where it will have all the IDs. So you have to use move to the activity, select the component. It will have an ID. That ID only you have to give because we are working on edit text only. So the ID here you have is edit text person name. Same ID you have to give. So once you give the ID, so that identifier, if you enter the value, that will be stored in E1. Now I need to call text to speech service. So T1 is equals to new text to speech method. So now text to speech is a inbuilt service. No need to write code from scratch. Here I'm using text to speech as an inbuilt service. Here you have to initialize text to speech. No need to initialize the service from scratch. So that will be applicable only for this activity. So that is why you have to get application context. That means you are applicable only for this activity. So now text to speech on init listener will get initialized automatically. On init method will be created. We are initializing text to speech. So on init method will be created. I am renaming the parameter as status. Once you rename the parameter as status, Here I'm giving the condition. If whatever the status I have entered, if that is not equals to text to speech dot error, that means whatever I have entered, if it is correct, then what I'm doing, I am setting the language T1 dot speak, T1 dot set language. I am setting the language with respect to UK. I am setting the language with respect to UK. Lot of languages are readily available. You can either set English, Canada, any language can be set. And it will end with semicolon. So very simple thing which I have done here. So first I have identified the edit text with the ID and I stored in E1 variable. Now I have initialized text to speech component. I have initialized text to speech component. While initializing, it has created the onInit method, which is overridden method. So if the status is not equal to any error, that means whatever I have entered is correct. What it is doing, it will set the language as UK. Now, whatever the text I enter, the language which we are setting is UK, that accent will appear. Now, once the language is being set, now I'm defining the method, user defined method. So here, public void convert. Convert is a user defined method. View this is the user defined method, independent method. Here first I need to pass the edit text. So that means I'm converting whatever the text I am entered to string. So that is why here I'm declaring one variable called toSpeak. toSpeak is a variable which is of type string and even will have the value. It will get the text and it will convert that to string. It will get the text and it will convert that to string. Now you have to call the service speak. Now I'm calling the service speak and I'm passing the toSpeak as a parameter. I'm passing the toSpeak as a parameter. We just declared the toSpeak parameter here. It will contain the string, converted string value, whatever you're going to enter. And next we are calling the parameter toSpeak.queueFlush. That means it will flush the content, whatever you have typed, until it reaches null, because the string will end with null. So you're going to enter the string here and that string will be queue flushed until it reaches null. So here we are using the built-in method called speak, where actually whatever the text you have converted, that will be converted to voice. This is all about your program. Once the program is done, you have to boot the button run. Once you click the button run, you have to click the emulator where you're going to get the output. So we'll check for the output now. Emulator, I have just clicked the emulator here. So the Gradle is building, it is just running. This is the previous output, previously executed output. Once the Gradle build is finished, you will get the current program output. So basically, user will enter the text here and you have to click the convert button. So user will enter the text here. You have to click the convert button. So since the emulator cannot listen the output, So what you have to do means, so here you have to enter the text. So still it is executing. Just click run app. So Gradle build is still running. It is executing the task. Now the output will appear. It's still running. It's getting installed. Yes, this is the output. You just saw here the user has to enter the text hi, hello, and user has to click convert button. Once the user clicks the convert button, so that will be converted to speech. So here, since the emulator cannot listen the output, what you have to do means you have to click the build menu. Once you select the build menu, go to build. There you have to select build bundle APK. There you have build APK. Once you click build APK, one APK file will be generated. So what you have to do, you have to transfer that APK file. You have to transfer that APK file through your phone. You have to send that APK file in the WhatsApp. That file you have to double click and install in your phone. Once you install in your phone, the same output will get generated. There you have to enter hi, hello and click convert so that you will get the exact voice. So we have set here the language as UK. So you're going to get that voice with respect to UK. This is your program. It's very simple. See here, build APK, give locate. Once you click locate, that APK file will be generated. So you have to install that APK file in your file. I hope you all have understood this. Thank you all.